So I just wanted to give you a brief look at the dash and just show you what the dashboard looks like and why it's useful. So I'm just going to open up this patient's dashboard here, which you can see there. I'm just going to unblur this section here. And that just gives you, these are all these widgets here are ones that I've added. I'll show you how I've done that. So this is the assessment and plan. You can see each date the patient's been here. You can see all the consults she's had, and what I've said for A, assessment, B, P for plan. For each of the consults, this is a summary that I've written in the summary section. These were her complaints on each of those days. These were the follow-up plans. So on this date, I said she needs to follow up in a month. She needs to have a macula on both eyes. We need to dilate both eyes, and she needs an injection of the Eylea and Lucentis, and the intervals of 4 and 12 weekly. I've got her best corrected visual acuity, and I can scroll on here to see what it was at the different dates. Her uncorrected visual acuity, her intraocular pressures at each of those dates. These are prescriptions that were written up, all her script history, central macular thickness over time. You can see she actually hasn't responded particularly well from a central macular thickness, although her VA is reasonable. And this is all the history of intravitreal injections I've given from my intravitreal injection form. So she said Eylea Lucentis that day, Eylea Lucentis on that day, Eylea Lucentis on that day. So she's had injections on those days. And there's more information if you've done laser, if we did any surgical bookings, if we've done any surgery, that would appear here, and this works with the template. So very powerful. When a patient comes in, if you just click on their dashboard, it gives you a very quick overview of what's happening with them, what is their VA, what is their pressures, what is their medical history, what did you say on the previous consultation. Very, very powerful. Now, all of these you can add and edit. And so if I go here to the edit section, sorry, this is a bit blurred out here, but there's an add button here, so I can add additional sections. And from there, I can give it a description, whatever I wanted. New graph. And then I can say I'm going to use the IEVAL template. I want it to be a line, a scatter, a text, an image. So I'm going to call it a line graph, and can label the x-axis, label the y-axis. And then from here, it looks at all the sections of the values within the IEVAL form. You can see that have a number value. They've got IOP, visual acuity, left eye, right eye, best corrected with contact lenses, central macular thickness, topography, clinical activity score for thyroid orbitopathy, etc. All the values, Hertel measurements. So you can choose one of these values. Let's say we took adjusted IOP left. I could call it A IOP, and then it will then pull those values into that graph, and then you could add a new widget. That's if it's text. You can choose the text field. You'll see that it will change. It'll give you all the text-based values here that can be put into the dashboard. And so you can customize these dashboards. If you click, if you go here, you can also reorder them. So depending on where you want them, if you want the VAs and the IOPs at the top, then you can move best corrected visual acuity to the top or to the bottom or wherever you want it, and then that information will be summarized for the patient, for the patient's dashboard, and you can more quickly get to that information quickly, especially with injections. You can quickly see this is what they've had, this is what their central macular thicknesses are doing, this is what their VA is doing, what medications have they prescribed them recently, etc. There is a section for pathology. There's a whole section. Pathology automatically gets pulled through from AMPAS, so all the pathology data will sit under there. If you've ever done COVID tests, etc., it will live under there. If you've ever done laser, etc. So obviously these are set up. If you have documented any diagrams, this section I haven't worked on too much, but you can obviously have separate sections for different images if you're wanting to continually follow up on certain images or diagrams where you've made sketches. You can view a history of the diagrams that you've made. So very, very powerful, and you can add and remove as much as you want. So this makes kind of a dashboard for where you can see all the information that is pertinent to you in one place.